Hi, I'm Pinoy, and I love JRPGs, especially Final Fantasy.
What a fucking loser.
Normally here on One More, I like to talk about multiple news topics, and that's still going to happen, as per usual, every weekend. But with what's going on with Final Fantasy VII and the trademarks that have been popping up, I just had to do a discussion episode.
With these discussion videos being very spur of the moment, I feel like calling these a holdup going forward sounds right.
So, for this special podcasty type episode, I'd like to introduce you guys to my man, my boy, Ninj. Whoa. Hello?
Bro, you really think I'm flying my ass down to the US during a pandemic just to talk about Final Fantasy? Get on Discord, bro, what?
Alright, man, my bad.
Thanks to Gamatsu as well as Itai Kimochi on Twitter, we found out that Square Enix has trademarked Ever Crisis, the First Soldier, and the Shinra logo over in Japan. I'm gonna tell you right now, my initial reaction to this had me jumping out of my fucking seat in excitement and immediately started spamming my friends who love FF7. This is pretty obvious, but if you haven't finished Final Fantasy VII Remake or even the original Final Fantasy VII, you probably shouldn't listen to this discussion because we're gonna spoil a lot of shit here, I'm pretty sure at least.
Let's do this.
It's showtime!
Gamatsu posts, Square Enix trademarks Ever Crisis, the First Soldier, and Shinra logo. Okay, first of all, I don't understand why they would trademark the Shinra logo.
So, my thought process on the Shinra logo being trademarked is they're gonna make a game and have that be, like, its logo.
Okay, that's like way bigger than what I thought. I literally was just like, okay, they're gonna put on a mug. That's literally what I thought.
They're gonna put on a mug.
Well, what do you think Ever Crisis is gonna be exactly? Do you think it's gonna be a Crisis Core remake?
I don't think it's gonna be a Crisis Core remake. I feel like it's
Neither do
gonna
I.
be something different. I think they might do something with Rufus just because of how, like, impactful Rufus feels in FF7R compared to the original. Don't get me wrong, he feels very, like, important in the original, but in the remake, the impression he left on, I feel like, everybody is just way more intense than it was in the original.
What the fuck? What I'm wondering is how crazy they would go with it. Like, would you play as like Kunsel or some shit like that?
That'd be fucking insane, dude. Shit.
Did you ever look into the story before Crisis or no?
Kind of. I looked at it a bit, but I really don't know too much.
Okay, I'm gonna spoil the big thing about that game and like what makes me believe Ever Crisis could be like some before Crisis thing. The purpose of that game, like what the Turks are doing, is they're working for obviously President Shinra to figure out who the mole at Shinra is, and the mole is Rufus. Rufus is like helping Avalanche. Avalanche is essentially like become like a subdivision of Shinra, but like no one else knows that. And when the president finds out that, yeah, exactly. When the president finds out that Rufus is the one doing this shit, instead of executing Rufus, he lets him continue to run Avalanche. So, you know, in Remake, that part when, it's like pretty early on in the game when you go with like Jesse's, or you know what I'm talking about? You go to the reactor. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So at that point, towards the end of it, there's a bunch of Avalanche soldiers that come in that don't look like Barrett or like anyone like that. I think that division is the one that Rufus controls. Yeah. That's why I'm like, dude.
God.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, you could easily build this shit up from like a before Crisis type scenario. And that's why they think Barrett's division is crazy. Like, dude, I'm telling you, man, there's so much cool shit that they could do, and like it gets me so hyped thinking about it.
Oh my god.
A long time ago, we talked about how FF15's multiplayer had a lot of potential, just the combat's not that great. But FF7 Remake's combat, as we all know, is fucking incredible besides the air combat. You could take that mold and then make a multiplayer part to Before Crisis where you just play as Turks working for Shinra, doing quests or like going on bounty hunts or not bounty hunts,
Fighting
but like,
Wu-Tai.
Yeah, there's so many things that you could do, and I think that would be the most hype shit like ever. Like, it would be genuinely super fun to me to just like hop online with the boys, get on our Turks, and then just like run out and like do shit in Midgar or wherever the fuck in Gaia. Like, that would be so fucking fun. I don't think this would ever happen, by the way.
Going around with your friends and like actually playing a 3D action game in the style of FF7R with the homies would be amazing. Because as much as I think the FF15 version of multiplayer had potential, I just think it didn't live up to it nearly as well as it could have. If FF7R had a multiplayer sort of thing, it would be way better incorporated than FF15's was, because generally speaking, the combat I think is way better. There's a lot more potential for having different classes in it. You can already see it in the game. Like the way Rufus plays is completely different to how like potentially Cloud would play, or potentially Aerith or Tifa or Barrett would play. And then incorporating like a Dragoon class would be insane in this game as well.
How varied can you get with Turks? Like, how would you get your moveset as a Turk? Would you be like, okay, I'm gonna take the baton and you have Reno's moveset, or I'm gonna take the gloves and you're gonna have Rude's moveset?
Yeah, something like that. That brings up another question of how they would design the entirety of the weapon quote unquote format around it. As you just said, like it'd be really weird how they would do it, especially with the limited amount of Turks that we know of right now. Like they would have to incorporate new Turks to play as, or like a create your own sort of thing.
Yeah, I would expect it to be entirely like create your own Turk and you're just a squad doing shit. I think it would be like the narrative behind it would be so bare bones, like just to make it functional, because I don't think you want the multiplayer to tie too much into the single player. I just think you want enough narrative reason for it to exist, and then like let people have fun with it.
The potential for Final Fantasy VII as a series is incredible in the first place, and like if they start incorporating multiplayer aspects to it, I think it could branch out into something even more than what it currently is.
I think it will be mostly before Crisis, and then at the end of the game, Ever Crisis will just it's gonna be like half before Crisis, half Crisis Core, but the end of Crisis Core would be the scene in FF7 Remake where he lives, and I think it would just start a second branch of like games where Zack is the protagonist instead of Cloud, and like you play the whole train sequence, like but with Zack. I think that's where I'm feeling it. Is this some like fucking like timeline shit? 10 out of 10. 10 out of fucking 10. Strap me down, I am fucking in, dude.
As much as I'd want a different timeline game, I don't think we'd get that personally.
Really? Okay.
The way that Zack and Cloud operate, I feel like they would probably end up at similar points by the end of Midgar. My last thought, and this is fucking out of the ballpark, no fucking idea if this could possibly even happen, but I think it might end up being a weird-ass mobile game.
Oh god, I hope you're not right.
I hope I'm not right either, but it just makes sense with the other FF mobile game, Mobius, I believe.
I don't want to live in a world where Ever Crisis is the dark road of Final Fantasy.
Yo, it's a Shinra management simulation.
Okay, stop. No, dude. There's like a mobile game, Final Fantasy VII G-Bike or some shit, and it's literally just like
What the fuck? What? That's a thing?
Yeah, it's literally just, it's you playing as Cloud, and like all you're doing is like riding a fucking bike in like the Midgar Expressway. Dude, I'd be so down for like a VR G-Bike game, and you like, I don't know. I think that'd be so fun.
What the fuck am I looking at? What?
Wow, CyberConnect developed this? What the fuck?
Wait, what?
Man, maybe that's why they were contacted to do a remake originally. God, you guys knocked G-Bike out the park, dude. Make the remake. When do you think they would announce any of these?
I'm gonna say we'll probably get an announcement by the end of the year.
Really? Yeah. Whoa. Damn, you got belief, bro.
Okay, no, like, I don't think we're getting anything big, but I think we're getting something, some form of a teaser. Square has a habit of teasing shit really early and then delaying in production.
Because I don't think Remake Part 2 is coming out until like 2023, maybe late 2022. Like, I expect it's gonna be a while from now. I think Ever Crisis will fill the gap before that game. Like, best case scenario would be we do get a teaser for Ever Crisis. The release schedule will be like, okay, FF7R Part 1, Ever Crisis, FF7R Part 2, The First Soldier, and then FF7R Part 3. Like, you have like these games in between the major releases. I think that's like best case scenario, but I don't fully believe that. My only thing is, and maybe someone in the comments or you can like correct this for me, I actually don't know, is Sephiroth the first soldier? I have no idea.
Oh, he's the first soldier. Well, he's biologically the human of Hojo and Lucretia. In light of his role within the project to artificially recreate Genova of the Ancients, he could be called Genova-san. At the same time, he was first to be a soldier.
Okay, yeah, so this is from the Ultimania. Okay, so then yeah, he is the first soldier. Wow,
he is
okay.
the first soldier.
Then,
Okay,
yeah,
well,
it literally can't be anything but a Sephiroth
fucking game.
It has to be a Sephiroth game.
Holy shit.
What would it narratively be about?
I think narratively it'd be about his just like literally the start, the moment he becomes a soldier till the time he decides to defect. I think that would be it.
That's what I think too. But then I had a crazy idea. This is gonna sound so fucking like, bonkers. Probably not true, but like, all right. The game starts with you playing a Sephiroth, and you lose the fight to Cloud at the end of Advent Children.
Oh my fucking god. That would be so fucked, dude.
And the core of the game is to get to the Final Fantasy VII remake, you know, like the old timeline, and then make it fit for him.
Holy
So you're playing the
shit.
events that you don't see in FF7 remake.
How fucking cracked are you, bro?
Yeah, I know. Because if you think about it, right, in FF7 remake, I don't know why I'm trying to make this make any sense, but if you played that game without knowing anything about Sephiroth, I don't think you could sit there and honestly tell me why Sephiroth is doing any of the things that he's doing in that game, because there's not enough context.
Okay, I like your idea. I just don't think they would make a game about that. I think that would be like post-game FF7R Part 3.
Yeah, no, I don't think this is a game either. You listen, I had that idea and I was like,
That'd
whoa.
be fucking crazy, though.
I think that'd be cool as fuck.
If the Sephiroth game, The First Soldier, I think that would be about like his younger years, growing up as the fucking product of Hojo and Lucretia, and like being treated as more of a specimen rather than a person. And then his time through the Wutai War.
That would be so sick, actually. Because like, how much of the Wutai War even does Before Crisis take place during the Wutai War? I have no idea.
Wait, did you say Before Crisis or Crisis Core?
Oh, Crisis Core is what I meant.
That was on the ends of it, I believe. If they went the opposite end, and instead of like playing him up to be some sort of a god, if they went the opposite route and chose to humanize him in the remake, it'd be a really interesting sort of evolution. I'm thinking of how fucking sick it would be if like the better you play, the more options you had, kind of thing. So like,
oh my, that would be so sick. Holy
yeah,
shit.
so like if you had like a DMC rating kind of thing, but like not actually shown, like it would just be shown through, I don't know, some arbitrary in-game thing. You reach like rank D or some shit, and then you reach rank C and you get like a whole new set of moves because like the fucking Genova cells in you are like popping off, you know?
I think that's fucking genius. I think you don't tell the player that you're hitting these levels though, because I
That'd
think
be fucking
yeah.
sick,
I think if you
okay,
hide
yeah, I
that
agree.
shit, like, oh my god, bro. Because then the player would be like, holy fuck, I'm doing more Shaq. I'm doing crazier
I'm a
shit.
god.
Like, yeah, like, dude, that would feel amazing as a player. I can't believe you really don't think we're gonna get a like an alternate timeline Final Fantasy VII game.
I don't think they'd do it. I think they'd want to focus on FF7R first and foremost. So I think we're gonna get that Crisis compilation of yours, and then they're gonna start doing alternate timeline bullshit if they do it at all.
Honestly, that's true. Maybe it is too early.
I think it's just too early. Like, don't get me wrong, I would love it and I could see it happening. I just can't see it happening this early on.
Yeah, that's true. We're only one game in. Damn, dude. Maybe I'm Nomura. Holy fuck. One of the reasons I did want to bring you on for this is because, like, obviously you like Kingdom Hearts. I like Kingdom Hearts, kind of. And so I'm like, okay, well, one of my biggest worries is nothing story related. I am fully into what they're doing with FF7 Remake, but I don't want to see a bunch of spin-offs and they all play so differently. Like how like I play KH1 and then I play Chain of Memories and then I play like, I don't know, fucking 358 and they all play completely differently. I don't really want that, and that's something that does bother me. Like if I play Ever Crisis, I want it to play as similarly to Final Fantasy VII Remake as possible, but I don't know how crazy they would get with it.
Since the game's progressed from a PS2 and then it went to Game Boy Advance, which is what Chain of Memories was on, like they couldn't replicate the game at all. So they had to do something like that.
Yeah, when you put it that way, it just makes me look like a fucking dumbass, so I'll I'll do it. That's fair, dude. I'll take it.
I'm also a goddamn liar because I love all of these games and they play nothing like the mainline ones.
At the end of the day, out of all this, I think it just means we need a full-on RTS of that Fort Condor thing. Like,
True.
I'm sorry.
Okay, but would you play that? I think I'd play that.
Yeah, I'd play that. I fucking hated that when I played it in FF7, but fuck yeah, I'll buy it. I'll play it. StarCraft, watch out, buddy. Fort Condor is coming. No, seriously, though, thank you for doing this video with me. That was fun.
Yeah, dude, no, this was fun as fuck for me, too.
Yeah, if you guys want to check him out, his stuff's going to be in the description. He's a pretty decent editor. He does pretty good videos sometimes, and he streams like, 2 or 3 times a year.
Never.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine, and I like his stuff, so you should too. That's a terrible reason, but just trust me on this.
Trust me.
All right,
guys,
bye-bye.
trust. See ya.
Well, we're certainly not Sleep Easy. Check him out, by the way. His theories are mind-blowing, but that was a lot of fun. I won't be doing stuff like this very often, but let me know what you guys thought of it. I was aiming for a short podcasty type thing. Anyway, what do you guys think Ever Crisis and The First Soldier are? I'm sure your theories are going to be a lot better than a fucking Shinra mug. With that being said, thank you for watching the video. My blind Final Fantasy VII Remake playthrough is on my second channel, if that interests you. Leave a like if you enjoyed, leave a dislike if you didn't. God bless you all, and I will see you this weekend.